Hey, welcome back to the Optimized E-commerce podcast. I'm Tanner Larson. This is my older brother, Paler, and we are the owners of Build, Grow, Scale. As you can tell, he looks really pale on video right now. So if you're listening on iTunes, just picture Casper and then make him Paler, and that would be my partner, Matt.
It'll be a close second.
Be a very close second, yep. We actually think he gets tan when he gets sunburned, but it's not. It's just like a lobster. So guys, anyway, back to the podcast, not about how pale he is. On the actual funny note, hey, Matt, what kind of businesses did you used to own?
I did. I used to own a couple of tanning salons.
Yep. It clearly didn't work for him.
Well, the best part was I got spray tanned.
Yeah, so. But it just peeled off, right? So anyway, back to the show. What we're going to cover today real quick is, and actually maybe not so quick, we're going to dive in pretty good, but what we're going to cover is why traffic is not your problem when it comes to e-commerce and what your real problem is, all right? So we're going to dive right in right now, and we're going to talk about how everybody and their mom, when we talk e-commerce, all they care about is getting more traffic, cheaper traffic, better traffic, scaling traffic, and that's what everybody cares about. It's always Facebook or Instagram, mostly those two. Sometimes when they're a little bit more educated, they talk about Google, but for the most part, it's just, how do I get more traffic? If I just got more traffic, Matt, I'd make more money.
Yeah, and I mean, we felt claim to that same thing
Very
when
true.
we owned our stores. And what we found out is really traffic is not the problem, because you have 100, or average e-commerce converts around 2% or less. So that means for every 100 people that come to your site, 98 or more leave without buying something. And so really we believe that your store is the problem. And
so let's back up a little bit though. Let's think about the thought process of these traffic guys based on what you just said.
Yeah.
So they have a 2% conversion rate, which we're being very generous here because the 2% global average also includes all the stores that are kicking ass,
right,
that are bringing up the average from all the stores that suck.
Yeah.
And honestly, most stores suck when it comes to conversions.
Yeah.
But anyway, these e-com guys, they come in, they're like, man, I got a 2% conversion rate. So every 100 visitors I get, man, I get 2 sales.
Right.
So let's double my traffic.
Right. That's what they think. Let's buy another 100 visitors and get
then I get
4
4 sales.
Right.
And then we'll triple it. I'll get 6.
Yeah.
And the thought process there could work theoretically, but it's very wasteful.
Yeah. And what happens is you run out of audiences much quicker.
Yeah.
What we're trying to get people to do is to focus on the store, make the store work better, have a better customer journey, so that out of the 98 people that leave, you actually get 2 to 4 more of them, and then your conversion rate goes from 2 to 4 to 6%. And then all of a sudden, you're doing so much better with your profitability from the traffic that you already get that you can buy more market share and dominate your niche.
Guys, traffic is, well, Matt said we fell prey to it. We did. Matt used to be a traffic wizard. I was mediocre at best, but he was really good at traffic. All right. And we made a lot of money running a lot of traffic. And we, back in the days when traffic was crazy and all those different things. But the thing was, it was still wasteful. We also burned audiences. We burned the available customers. And a lot of our products and stores died out much quicker because we were so wasteful. And here's the thing, guys. 2% conversion rate, 1% conversion rate, just because it's working there, well, the magic word everybody wants is scale, right?
Yeah.
Well, if it's working now, that doesn't mean it's going to keep working. It's actually only going to get more difficult for you as you scale, because as you scale, when you're in a traffic zone like this, you're hitting the honeypot, right? You can nail it. You can get all that cheap traffic that works on a 1% store. But as you scale, you have to continue to get wider and wider rings of traffic, meaning more broad, more generic traffic. As you scale traffic, what happens with the traffic cost?
The traffic cost goes up.
And not just a little bit, right?
And the quality of your traffic goes down.
Yes.
So the reason why the store has so much difficulty with traffic is because it was really designed by developers to be an online store catalog. So it wasn't really designed with the buyer's journey in mind.
Well, explain the catalog. Where did it come from?
Yeah. So basically what it needs to do is
it came from the mail order days is what I'm saying, like how to get a catalog of products online, right?
Yeah. And that it needs to sort your inventory. It was really an inventory solution. Yeah. It wasn't meant to handle the buyer's journey. And when Tanner wrote the book on e-commerce, talked about how you create sales funnels and how you get to choreograph that journey. And so what we've done is we've taken those same principles and then applied them to a store. And by doing that, that's where we've doubled and tripled average conversion rates, because we look at each specific page on the store as having a specific intent and for a specific reason.
Mm-hmm. Now, guys, that and that's the thing. The stores were designed as online catalogs. That's why we were suggesting sales funnels, and everybody else was, because you could control it. The thing is, we have learned and figured out through lots and lots of testing, lots of wasted money, how to actually get that same funnel-esque quality to be applied to your store and allow the customers to move through it in a very optimized way so that you can convert higher. Now, here's the thing, guys. We want you to buy more traffic. Both Matt and I believe that traffic is infinite, okay? The thing that's important, though, is being able to convert that traffic. You got to be able to digest it, right? And Dan Kennedy, who everybody knows is one of the greatest minds in marketing ever, always says that he who can afford to pay the most to acquire a customer is going to win. All right. Well, if you have a 1% conversion rate, you're never going to be able to pay the most. All right. And it's not just conversion, it's average order value, lifetime customer value. All these different metrics make a big deal. Okay. But an unoptimized store is suffering in all of those different areas.
Yeah. So our goal is for you to get 2, 4, 6 customers out of that 100, and then once you're doing that, then you can buy traffic from multiple different sources and still be profitable. And
then you can start dialing in, but you can continue to dial in your AOV, your LTV, and make each customer worth more and more money. Now, Matt, we're going to talk about the buyer's journey. You mentioned it a little bit. Why don't you walk me through what the buyer's journey is on the front end?
Okay, well, the homepage would be basically what we would consider like the top of your funnel. Your homepage has a specific reason. That is for trust and then easy navigation to find what they're looking for. Your category page is strictly a filter. All it does is narrow down their search a little bit farther so that they land on what they want to look at, and then they're much more likely to buy. Your product page obviously is what's going to tell them the information about your product that makes it appealing to them so that they'll buy, and then the cart and the checkout is where the transaction takes place, where they're going to give you their money.
Now, when we talk about the buyer's journey, one of the things that people always say, so I don't use my homepage. I don't use my category pages. I send people to the product page.
Right. So you will send your people to the product page because you're targeting them. But about 60% of the people that land on your product page will then go back to your homepage to make sure that they're doing business with someone that they'd like, know, and trust.
So they wind up back there anyway. So if you say, I don't have to worry about this, or this can be a mess, or whatever else, you're wrong. Just because they can enter the buyer's journey at different points doesn't mean the whole thing doesn't need to be optimized. Now, when we talk about optimizing it, what are we specifically talking about? All right, well, let me start with an analogy. Okay, so think of the buyer's journey as a road. Okay, like the start, the click happens, they land on the site, and the object is to get from this end of the road to the end of the road over there, the finish line, which is the sale. All right. Now, if the road was smooth or slick, they could just slide right across. The problem is there's dozens, if not hundreds, of speed bumps or spikes and cracks in the road all the way through it that is making the journey real rocky like this. And every speed bump or crack in the road, whatever you want to call it, is an opportunity for the customer to bounce, to have a disconnect and leave. So the job, what we teach and what we work on and what makes our stores work so well is we streamline that buyer's journey by removing all those speed bumps as we possibly can to make that journey as smooth and as possible. Because again, actually, not again. Let me just back up again. Let's talk about subconscious versus conscious shopping real quick, because that would be a little real quick thing I can throw in here. The shopping online is mostly a subconscious process because customers are so used to doing it. It's when you bring them back into the conscious mind by having something that they don't understand, that's not clear, or that causes a disconnect.
That's when they start thinking whether they want it or not.
But the smoother you can make the process, the more automatic and subconscious the whole shopping experience is, and the trust barriers are down and everything happens better in the purchase. And what those speed bumps look like, Matt, on a homepage, give me 2 or 3 things that are bad on a homepage.
Too many items, like them trying to sell on the homepage would be a good example, like add to cart.
Mm-hmm.
People are not ready to shop at that point yet, and they don't have product details or any of those other things. So something like that, having your hero image.
Which is the banner above the fold.
Yeah, be focused on being artsy or pretty or whatever, and not conveying whatever your unique value proposition is.
Okay. Category page.
Category page should literally just be looked at as filters. So again, trying to sell on there, or not having clear defined categories of what you offer to the customer. If they have to search around to find what you offer, then there's going to be a disconnect and a lack of trust.
Yeah, and if your filters are only a selector to different categories, those aren't filters.
Or A to Z and most expensive and latest.
Those aren't filters.
Yeah, that again is a developer who created an online store catalog. A filter would be like colors, sizes,
weight,
price range, different things like that, different materials. Yeah.
Okay. 2 speed bumps on a product page.
Add to cart button below the fold, product descriptions that are walls of text, no reviews.
That was a bonus one. That was 3. That was more than 2.
Yeah.
Math isn't an exact science around here, guys.
No.
And then the cart. Give me 2 speed bumps in the cart.
Upsells in the cart are typically, you can test them. Very, very seldom will they add enough average order value to make up for the loss in the conversion rate. So upsells in the cart are typically a no-no. The other thing would be like incongruency. So you want to make sure that all your button colors through your whole store are the same color, or even just not clear wording. We've tested hundreds of texts in there, and so we know exactly what you're trying to do is get them to go to the next page. You don't want them to stay on the cart. So basically language or icons and things like that are going to nudge them over the edge.
Yep. All right. 2 more, but in the checkout. 2 more speed bumps.
2 more speed bumps. Not taking advantage of trust. There's several trust signals that we'll talk about over the next several episodes that you can use in your checkout to help. And then too many form fields. So not eliminating form fields that are unnecessary.
Awesome. All right, guys. And again, those speed bumps are the things that can be optimized. Now, Matt's naming 2 to 3 off every page. There's usually dozens, sometimes way more than that on each page. Yeah. And our job, what we're good at, is getting rid of all of those. And that is what this podcast is really about. So future episodes, you'll see us break down specific optimizations and ways that you can literally make more money from all the traffic that you're already getting, right?
Yeah. And as things change, we'll continue to update this as we do, because we know what we used a year ago isn't quite as relevant as it was today. And so the thing is, we do this all day, every day. So we'll just continue to keep you informed with what we're doing.
Absolutely. So right now, guys, what I need you to do is if you're listening on iTunes, subscribe there. Then hop over to YouTube and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe there and then hop over to iTunes and subscribe. The reason is because we're obviously a lot of times sharing our screens and showing stuff visually, but other episodes you can just listen to on audio and it's totally fine. But if you need direct links to both of those, just go to buildgrowscale.com/podcast. And you can get links to all the different places this will be syndicated, as well as on our blog. And then if you enjoyed this episode, leave us a review and a comment, and for sure share it with your friends, right? We'd love you to share it around.
Yeah.
And then, guys, we will see you in the next episode with a whole bunch more good stuff to share. So for now, ciao.
Yeah.
See ya.